Hello, everybody. It's Malcolm Lovejoy. 5 minutes of love for you. Lovemonger is also a name I go by. I'm Mentor Supreme, or Adam U. Stewart is what they put on my birth certificate. But I feel like my spirit existed long before that. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate the wonderful listeners and people who've watched. It might have been only one of you. I thank you, that person that's out there that supports me. But I'm going to be changing things as of today. It's a wonderful new day, August 1st. August is my birthday. April 1st. Happy April Fool's Day. And yeah, I'm actually trying to start some new stuff on Twitter in a new community. I'm trying to start some new platform ways to reach out and provide 5 minutes of love. So I'm not exactly going to be doing this the same way. I'm going to be giving 5 minutes of love for sure in new ways, but we're going to have an adjustment after. This is going to be the last one for a little bit, but it's coming back. Don't worry, don't worry. I got the flex. I got the mojo. I got the feel. I got the vibe. Yes. The 21 days of a habit thing really, really works. And this is number 51, actually. So I've got a habit. It feels good to give love. I mean, it's something I naturally do on my day, but Oh, so we are reading from Gigolo, and it was really wild and fun. There was some interesting information we were getting to, and I remember we were reading from the Sheik and the Gigolo. We were talking about ancient history, and it was very interesting. Um, do you want to go there? I think we should go there. We can just end off with that, but I'm going to actually add a little extra thought and feel and good energy to the proceedings because yeah, I have a few thoughts in my head. They're loving thoughts, they're insightful thoughts, they're wise thoughts. So I care about you and I want to share something. That's what love's all about. That being said, I digress. And we will continue reading from Gigolo and read the Sheik and the Gigolo. After Suleiman the Magnificent died in 56, excusez-moi, excusez-moi. After Suleiman the Magnificent died in 1566, the ambitious palace women took advantage of a succession of mentally handicapped and juvenile sultans to gain control in the government. Mothers and wives plotted and schemed behind their veils while the apathetic sultans devoured pastries, popped opium pills, and guzzled raki, an anise-flavored Turkish brandy. The women exercised great power over the court, involving their intrigues in the palace eunuchs whose job it was to attend them. Partnership and political intrigue was not the only basis for the relationship between the sultanas and their eunuchs. Because the sultan required that they undergo castration as a condition of employment. Oh, you ain't gonna find my resume in that job pile. I digress. Undergo castration as a condition of employment. The eunuchs enjoyed easy access to the most private chambers of the harem. Some eunuchs were quite ingenious in devising ways to please their women. The close relationship between the ladies and their eunuchs served the sultan's purpose too, for he was free to pursue his own pastimes. The eunuchs, of course, were no threat to the purity of the ruler's bloodline. And then they go into a very, very major aside here where it says there were other, I'll just read the first paragraph of it. There's three of them. There were other practical reasons for the practice of castration. Historical novelist Mary Renault tells the story of Alexander the Great through the eyes of his eunuch, the Persian boy named in the title. Alexander, one of the greatest military minds in history, conquered all the known world 300 years before Christ. He took a eunuch with him into battle because the rigors of war were too much for a woman. Whew. Well, this second sentence pretty much says enough. The practice of castrating boys was commonplace in many parts of the world until the mid 1800s. During the 17th and 18th century, the most highly prized male singers in Europe were the castrati, whose angelic boyhood voices were preserved at the expense of their manhood. I would like to keep the depth and the bass in my voice. Thank you very much. And yes, I have different jobs to do, not to judge or take away, but yeah. I digress. Mozart's opera Abduction from the Seraglio, a tale of palace intrigue and illicit romance, produced in Vienna in 1782, recounts a pasha's difficulties preserving the fidelity of the women of the Seraglio. The 18th century French philosopher Montesquieu also treated this theme in his Letters Personae. In the letters to a Sultan Uzbek, Roxanne, one of his five wives, says, "Yes, I cheated you. Yes, I seduced your eunuchs. I scoffed at your jealousy, and I knew how to turn your horrible Seraglio into a place of delights and pleasures." Hui! Seduced your eunuchs? Yes, indeed. Some eunuchs, sans testicles, but with penises intact, could copulate and engaged in passionate love affairs with the Sultan's wives. Harem ladies prized them because they came with built-in birth control. Eunuchs who were without penises become adept at other ways of pleasing their mistresses, including heavy petting, aphrodisiacs, sex toys, erotica, and oral sex. Less inventive husbands no doubt suffered by comparison. It is important to note that it was men who employed the practice of castration on other men in order to protect their women. What was left depended on the particular technique used to neuter the young man. In some cases, only the penis was cut off, resulting in a eunuch who still retained his sex drive and could produce sperm but lacked the tool to deliver. In one method, a razor sliced off the penis and testicles in a single swoop. A tube was inserted into the urethra, the wound cauterized with boiling oil, and the castrated male then buried in a fresh dunghill and given a diet of milk. He stood a better chance of surviving the experience if he had not reached puberty. I remember the amount of excruciating pain that I felt when I first read this, and I'm sorry to anybody that was shocked by it. Whew. Reality is wild. This is like a medical uh, treatise, and I should have been a warning before that. I apologize. Oh, oh, there's a line that I'm just not going to even read. Oh, whew. Besides that, I'm going to end off the chapter because there's two paragraphs left, and then that's it. Missing parts aside, eunuchs were in many respects the precursors of the gigolo. Some eunuchs, such as the chief black eunuch, even became quite rich. In the beginning of the 20th century, the harem eunuch simply attended to his mistress's toilet and acted as her companion, accompanying her on sorties into the outside world. Eunuchs died out with the passing of the Ottoman Empire and the abolition of polygamy in 1926 by Kemal Ataturk, then president of the Turkish Republic. So, that's a little something, something, something from Gigolos. It's been wonderful to share some of these thoughts with you. It's been historic, it's been modern, it's been ancient, it's been timeless, it's been insightful, it's been brutal, it's violent, it's been beautiful and touching. So, yeah. I mean, love, it's just sitting in all of us, just waiting to be unleashed. I feel. I mean, it's uh, it's really a thing about Rumi's eternal saying. I feel that every day. It flows through my day, either subconsciously or consciously, in my mind and my heart. It's that saying, do not look for love. Instead, look for all the ways that you erect barriers to love in the day. Because there's so many opportunities for love to flow freely. And I sincerely, truly want to uh, inspire and encourage and illustrate the truth that having an open mind, eye, heart, soul, chest, arms, spirit, and faith and trust in some of the beauty of the universe. No, there's some danger here and there for sure, but not everything is meant to kill your love. Not everything is meant to attack it or steal it. So having some faith in some of the beautiful parts of the universe and beautiful innocent, natural, peaceful, tranquil, sacred moments will result in love being created together automatically, instantly, naturally, wonderfully. And it's right there. Just don't gotta stop it. Just don't gotta put a wall against it. Just don't gotta fear it. It's right there. So my name is Adam Stewart, Lovemonger. I'm doing this thing. I'm a work in progress. I'm working on my new place. I'm working on my new platforms. I'm working on a new website. Working on becoming a better lover and finding a partner and partners that understand me and trust me and reflect me and want to love as much as I want to love. So that being said, thank you for being part of my love tribe. I appreciate the people that watched. I appreciate the person that would walk. Just peek in. I don't know who you are, but you give me hope. And until more love is given, I thank you and wish you the most beautiful day that is imaginable. I love. We are love.